Good afternoon, everyone. Great to continue here with our consortium meeting. We will start now a webinar series. We'll have three webinars. Okay, so we are going to start the Education and NBS webinar. We have four presenters. Cátia Ascensão, that is here with us from the Faculty of Economics of the University of Coimbra. Marta, Maciel, and Andreia Coelho from Barcelos, that you know well. I think you may also saw Cátia. She did already some activities with us. And then we have Clara Vieira, who is not here. Maybe there is an issue with the schedule. And Rodrigo Ramalho from the municipality of Torres, Vedras, which is a municipality close to Lisbon. So we will try to bring contributions about the co-creation of nature-based solutions. We will have these four presentations, 10 minutes each one of them, and then we will have the opportunity to make some discussion after it. So I give the floor to Cátia Ascensão.
Thank you. Okay. So, hi everyone, and thank you to the TRANS-lighthouses project for the opportunity to be part of this panel today. It's a pleasure to share some reflections with you. My presentation, Designing with Children, co-design as a facilitator of children's participation, is a draw of my master's research conducted into primary school settings, one formal and one no formal, involving a total of 27 children. The study was based on the exploration of co-design process in the creation and development of the ideas for school playgrounds. Considering the context in which the case studies were developed, these ideas had SPNs as protagonists. So, the right of the child to participate in decisions that affect their lives has been widely recognized in national and international frameworks, having a main document, the United Nations Convention on the Rights of the Child. In my research, I also study Portuguese authors such as Manuel Sarmento and Catarina Tomás, who present extensive reflections related to children's rights to participation. I would like to highlight the last UNICEF Portugal report, Tenho Voto na Matéria, that reminds a considerable gap between the recognition of children's participation rights and their effective implementation in daily life of a child. In this study, 67% of children consider that the adults never or rarely ask them for their opinion. Actually, the lack of implementation of theoretical models in participatory practices motivated my research, which I meant to explore how co-design as a creative and collaborative process could provide a more effective form of children's engagement in educational contexts. The study was conducted into different learning environments. The first one was a public primary school, Escola Básica António Fogaça in Barcelos, which is also one of the pilots of the TRANS-lighthouses process, and the activities developed there were done in partnership with the project. The second was a non-formal education project, the playroom Canto dos Piscos, focused on the forest school pedagogical model. In total, 27 children participated, aged between 6 and 9 years old. Co-design process were used as a method of creating and developing ideas of playgrounds Multiple aspects were taken in consideration, such as the NBCs, implementation difficulties, and costs. Among these, drawing emerged as a central tool, not only as for artistic expression, but also as a language of communication and ideas generation. In this research emerged some findings that can be important for the discussion. First, drawing proves to be a valued and democratic tool for co-design with children. It allows children to externalize their ideas and share them on equal terms when compared to adults, regardless of differences in verbal ability. Moreover, the act of drawing simultaneously facilitates the development of verbal discourse. Because there is a shared concentration between verbal discourse and drawing, and a decrease in inhibition was observed in activities that use drawing as a tool. Second, is that children were aware of the limitations of their own participation. Many children expressed frustration about situations where they were invited to give opinions, but felt that their views had little or no impact on actual decisions. This observation matches with the conclusions of the UNICEF Portuguese reports that I already talked about, that the rhetoric of participation is often not passed into practices. So the children's opinions, when connected, are not normally passed on the decision-making spaces. Co-design can be understood as a possible methodological bridge between symbolic and meaningful participation. And child demonstrates strong awareness and empathy regarding issues of inclusion and environment care. In both contexts, the children often address the importance of ensuring that everyone could join, especially in relation to NBCs. Children inserted in the florist school pedagogic context were more sensitive to solutions closer to nature than children inserted to the public school, who tended to have more industrialized ideas. By position children as co-creators rather than participate, adults were required to listen, negotiate, and adapt their perspectives. This shift for a more horizontal form of dialogue, reinforcing mutual respect and shared ownership of the learning process. Yes, I have some reflections that I want to bring for the discussion. At the practical level, educators, facilitators, maybe should recognize creative and visual methods such as drawing, mapping, and prototyping as legitimate tools to participatory engagement. Such tools would validate diverse ways of knowing and expressing ideas, especially among younger children. At systemic level, we need to move from project-based participation to policy-supported participation. This means that isolated co-design experiences are insufficient unless they are integrated in the broader institutional and policy frameworks that recognize children as active partners in shaping educational environments. In this regard, integrating co-design process into the development of educational environments can ensure that these spaces becomes environmentally sustainable and socially inclusive, aligned with the principles of nature-based learning and participatory citizenship. In conclusion, this research reinforced the idea that effective participation requires more than consultation. It requires collaboration. Co-design offers a promising pathway to achieve this, as it allows children to engage not only as co-creators for their schools, but also for their cities and communities. By integrating co-design into educational practices, we not only enhance children's participation, but also cultivate the values that underpin NBS, empathy, collaboration, and an awareness of our interdependence with others and with development. In this sense, co-design can be seen as both a pedagogical and ecological practices. It helps to build communities of learning that are more democratic and more responsive to the needs of people and the planet. That's it. Thank you.
Thank you, Cátia, for keeping the time and for the clear
Thank you. I will
presentation. Great.
I just want to stop my share.
Yes, please.
I don't know where. Okay. That's it.
Great.
Sorry. Okay. Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, let's move now to the second presentation. We changed the order a little bit, and we'll have Marta, Maciel, and Andreia Coelho to present the pilot from Barcelos. Thank you for bringing the work that you have been doing in schools, co-creation of nature-based solution in educational environments.
Okay, thank you, Gonçalo. My presentation have a voice recorded, so I hope it's work. And I want to thank you to Barbara Julião that made it possible. And it's the first time we try this way, but you will see it's better. Okay.
Hello, everyone. I will present the development process of the pilot project Recreation is Nature implemented in Barcelos. Many of you are already familiar with the pilot project. We are now beginning the contracting phase of the works to bring the students' ideas to fruition. For those unfamiliar with Barcelos, according to the 2021 census, the municipality of Barcelos had approximately 117,000 inhabitants and is organized into 65 parishes. In the education sector, there are 9 school clusters and 1 non-clustered school, totaling 92 educational establishments. These schools have around 14,000 students enrolled, from preschool to secondary education. In 2021, the municipality's youth index was around 64%, reflecting the significant presence of young people in the area. The pilot playground is Nature proposed the creation of recreational spaces through a collaborative process involving students, teachers, and community groups. The initiative integrates nature-based solutions, NBS, into the design of playgrounds and adopts a participatory model, in which proposals are selected based on students' ideas. It also involves the wider educational community, including parents, local associations and parishes, and functions as a living laboratory of knowledge, allowing learning from the process itself. Our assessment case is located at Barcelos Secondary School, and aims to inspire the replication of the project in other contexts. The action plan for the Playground is Nature project was developed in several stages. The first consisted of presenting the project and holding co-creation meetings to get it off the ground. This was followed by the involvement of the educational community through thematic workshops on nature-based solutions, NBS, co-creation, participation, and participatory budgeting, as well as training for teachers. Subsequently, co-creation and design workshops for nature-based solutions for playgrounds were promoted. In a subsequent phase, participatory budgeting was implemented in the school context, allowing the community to vote on the proposals presented. At the same time, since the beginning of the project, a living knowledge laboratory has been developed to accompany the entire process. Finally, the winning idea resulting from the participatory budget vote will be implemented. The pilot project involves 3 schools in the municipality, EB2, 3 Abelvarzim, with 373 pupils in the second and third cycles, EBE Secundaria de Viarcova, with 430 pupils from primary to secondary school, and EB Antonio Foguesa, which has 315 children in preschool and first cycle education. As can be seen from the images available, these schools have extensive areas of tarmac and few natural spaces, which reinforces the relevance of the project in promoting greener and more sustainable school. Our assessment case focuses on the Arboretum of the Barcelos Secondary School. Created in 1986, this botanical garden is part of the school's green spaces and is a living example of sustainable and educational practices linked to nature. The implementation of this project was accompanied by a strong investment in raising awareness among the educational community, promoting knowledge, involvement, and shared responsibility. Actions were carried out aimed at teachers and operational assistants, with the aim of creating a shared vision of the importance of integrating nature into school spaces. At the same time, workshops were held for parents, with the participation of health professionals, who highlighted the benefits of contact with nature for the physical, emotional, and cognitive development of children and young people. The project also included a 50-hour accredited training course for teachers, as well as practical workshops with students, encouraging creativity, participation, and the development of joint solutions for greener and more inclusive playgrounds. In all the schools involved, participatory budgeting was the methodology chosen to give students a voice and place them at the center of the transformation of their school spaces. In a creative and collaborative way, students designed proposals to improve playgrounds, presented and defended their ideas before the school community, and finally, participated in a democratic vote to elect the solution to be implemented. This process not only promoted the spirit of active citizenship, but also encouraged a sense of responsibility, the ability to argue and teamwork, showing that school can be a real space for participation and change. Here we have the winning project from the Vila Cova School. On the left is the student's proposal, and on the right is the final plan, drawn up by a council architect, which will be implemented. Here we have the winning project from Abelvarzim School. And here we have the winning project from Antonio Foguesa's school. Positive externalities of the playground is nature project. The implementation of the project generated a set of positive externalities, reflecting structural changes in municipal action and school culture, institutional transformation, and paradigm shift. The project triggered a critical reflection on municipal practices, promoting a transition to management models based on nature-based solutions. There was greater coordination between municipal services, integrating participatory processes with students and teachers in the maintenance and planning of outdoor spaces. Awareness raising and capacity building for nature-based solutions. Continuous monitoring of the pilot projects showed an increase in ecological awareness in the educational community. The creation of the Recreo e Natureza Recess is Nature School Club at the Abelvarzim School demonstrates the institutionalization of the project and the active involvement of students in the continuity and maintenance of naturalized spaces. Network expansion and dissemination of good practices. The emergence of the School Nature Network represents the scalability of the model, promoting the transformation of playgrounds in multiple educational establishments. It already has 8 member schools. The network fosters inter-institutional cooperation and the sharing of participatory methodologies and practices for connecting with nature. Promotion of well-being, child development and local cultural practices. The introduction of the Educacao and Recreatii programs expands the concept of naturalized playgrounds by integrating the presence of animals and reviving traditional games, reinforcing socio-emotional skills, responsibility, and the preservation of recreational cultural heritage. Territorial scalability and sustainability of the model. The project has evolved from 4 initial schools to a strategy of replication throughout the municipal territory, demonstrating the generalizability of the approach. The incorporation of collaborative decision-making processes ensures the social and ecological sustainability of interventions. The Playground is Nature project is a catalyst for governmental innovation in the municipality of Barcelos, resulting in the incorporation of social participation practices, collaborative management, and sustainable territorial planning. Network governance and inter-institutional cooperation. The implementation of the project promoted the integration of a networking paradigm, both between municipal services and the educational community. This coordination consolidated a logic of co-responsibility in the design, execution, and maintenance of outdoor school spaces, breaking with traditional hierarchical models and fostering a culture of collaborative governance. Reconfiguration of the concept of school playgrounds. The project drove a structural change in the way playgrounds are perceived. From spaces centered on standardized equipment, they came to be designed from the perspective and needs of children, valuing nature, free exploration, and creativity. This transition involved the adoption of participatory methodologies, in which students and teachers are considered active agents in the transformation of public school spaces. Strategic public investment geared towards sustainability. The municipal commitment to the renaturalization of playgrounds embodied in the financing of pilot projects and the creation of the School Nature Network represents a political and financial commitment to environmental education and improving the quality of collective spaces. This investment validates the importance of playgrounds as educational and ecological infrastructure. Institutionalization of participatory practices and nature-based solutions. The municipal education strategy is now based on participatory models that integrate nature-based solutions as a structuring axis. Active listening to students and teachers, combined with the participation of municipal technical services, strengthens decision-making processes and increases the legitimacy and sustainability of interventions. Consolidation of a replicable model and public policy guideline. The process, which began in 4 schools and has now been expanded to other institutions, demonstrates the model's scalability. Recreo e Natureza has evolved from a project to a public policy, influencing municipal planning and establishing itself as a benchmark for educational, environmental, and participatory innovation. Challenges to sustainability and project consolidation. The implementation of policies for the renaturalization of playgrounds and collaborative governance faces the set of structural and cultural challenges that condition their continuity and effectiveness. Political cycles and instability of public policies. The periodic renewal of municipal executives can compromise the continuity of the strategies initiated, especially when they require prolonged investments and medium to long-term results. The absence of institutionalization mechanisms makes policies vulnerable to changes in political priorities. Turnover in school leadership and teaching staff. The frequency of changes in school management and teaching staff makes it difficult to consolidate long-term educational projects. The loss of institutional memory can compromise the continuity and consistency of the actions implemented. Cultural perceptions of nature. Culturally rooted views persist that associate nature with disorder, risk, or lack of control. This perception conditions social acceptance of naturalized playgrounds and educational practices that value direct contact with unstructured environments. Time for new paradigms to mature. The transition from traditional models to nature-based and participatory approaches requires time to generate effective changes in practices, mindsets, and institutional norms. Pressure for immediate results can hinder this evolutionary process. The accelerated logic of contemporary life contrasts with the timescales of growth, regeneration, and adaptation in natural systems. This disconnection hinders understanding of the value of slow processes and can generate frustration in the face of the apparent slowness of ecological results.
Thank you.
Great voice, Marta.
Yes, I think so.
I prefer yours, but
No.
nevertheless.
It's better than.
Thank you very much. No, it was very clear and it works well. Good. We will learn and we will do perfect presentations now everywhere. You have to give us a course on that.
Bárbara Julião can make a workshop with the
Okay.
consortium.
Okay, great. We have Rodrigo Ramalho. Hello, Rodrigo.
Hello,
Welcome
Gonçalo. How are you?
Fine. Welcome to TRANS-lighthouses consortium. It's a big team that you see here. We are in the middle of a consortium meeting, so we are already working for that. This is the third day, but we are excited to hear news from Torres Vedras. And yes, the floor is yours. As you know, this is a webinar on the co-creation of nature-based solutions on educational environment. So we are hearing experience in different pilots from different researchers, and it will be good to know what is happening in Torres Vedras. The floor is yours.
Thank you.
For
Thank you
10
very
minutes,
much.
please. Okay.
Okay, thank you, Gonçalo. Thank you all from the TRANS-lighthouses project. Thank you also for the University of Coimbra and the Municipality of Barcelos for the invitation. It's a pleasure for us to share our work here in Torres Vedras, promote play. This time, namely promoting play in the outdoor school spaces. I'll try. This is a very brief resume of our work in promoting play, because we only have 10-15 minutes to do it, and I will do it especially for the schools. We start our work with a diagnosis, a local diagnosis that I believe that is also a global diagnosis. We are seeing some trouble in decline of free play, especially in natural settings and shared spaces. Children are losing opportunities to connect with nature and with each other. This is a local issue. We believe it in Torres Vedras, but also a global problem in mostly in the development countries. Today, children play very differently than some years ago. They are increasingly isolated, indoors, and scheduled like adults. Their play lacks challenge, movement, and freedom. This shift has serious implications for the physical and emotional development. And this cartoon that was made in 2016, I believe that it's very actual. Nowadays, it's mostly the same thing in 2025, okay? And in Portugal, we have some other problem that children from preschool and primary school spend 8 to 10 hours a day at school. That's most of their waking hours. So if you want to support their growth, we must rethink what school environment ought to offer, especially outdoors. Carlos Neto, that is one of the world's greatest child development specialists, said to us that we need urgent reform in how we value outdoor space in education. Recess isn't just a break. It's a vital part of learning. The relationship between indoor and outdoor spaces must be intentional. now focused especially on the space, an outdoor space of our schools. We need to create meaningful outdoor environments. We need to consider some issues, namely adequate space for child, 20 square meters. We believe that's a good benchmark to start our work. Natural surfaces like soil and sand are completely necessary in our outdoor school spaces. Natural materials over synthetic ones, educational gardens cared for the community, and covered areas for all weather play. These elements create a richer and more engaging space. Also, let's add variety to the terrain. Hills to climb and hide behind includes secluded spots like tunnels and bushes. Don't forget loose parts that children can manipulate and reinvent. These features spark creativity and autonomy in the children. Sandboxes are very popular among children. We need also space that challenge them, build confidence, and help them learn their limits. These spaces should be continuously recreated by the schools, not static or overly polished. Let's prioritize what's interesting for children over what looks tidy for the adults. This is a typical outdoor school space in Torres Vedras still a few years ago, you know? Concrete soil, concrete surface, structured elements, and so on. This space may be very interesting for the adults, for the municipality, for the board of the school, and so on, but of course they are not so interesting for the children, and we recognize it. Can you guess from what third world country is this outdoor school space? Well, it's from Norway. It's not from a third world country, of course. And I've never heard about the investment problems in Norway schools. Loose parts, wood materials, promoting free play instead of structured plays. These are the concepts of outdoor spaces in Norway that we visit in our work. And this is the new model, the new concept of our lost outdoor school spaces. Most of the area consists of natural grounds, including dry meadow, a pedagogical garden, and a sandbox. Children love playing with sand. There's also a tunnel made from concrete pipes, a hill for climbing up and down, a wall for jumping, a covered outdoor space, and a concrete court for roller skating, riding scooters, bicycles, and so on. This is a detail of the wall with the only purpose to invite children to climb and jump. This purpose is to introduce a controlled risk on playing and to encourage children to overcome their fears and their challenges. Nowadays, children play with mud in most of our schools in Torres Vedras. Not in all of them, but in some of them we have already this free to play with mud, with special clothes for this kind of playing with liberty in the outdoor school spaces. This is, of course, a pedagogical option for our schools. But it's not easy, or it's not easy, it's impossible to change the environment of all our schools in the short period of time. So to overcome this problem, we opted to improve a lot of loose parts in the other schools. Card boxes, plastic boxes, and so on. This way, they can also play in an unstructured way to recreate their space each day. This is other image of one of our schools, and also one option for the plastic boxes that the children invent. It's not no one told them to do this. That was their option. For many children, schools and their outdoor spaces are the only interesting places where they can still play, where they can still build children. And we are making this with our schools, with, of course, a pedagogical intentionality. Thank you for your attention. I believe I was too fast, but I was worried about to get the 10 minutes that was given to me, and of course I'm ready to discuss it with with everyone. Thank you very much for your attention.
Thank you, Rodrigo, for this very concise
Yes, maybe
but
a
very
little
clear
bit.
presentation.
Yes.
You are receiving many likes, so it means that our colleagues enjoy very well. Great. Okay, so Clara, welcome to the webinar of TRANS-lighthouses. So this is part of our consortium meeting that we already started 3 days ago, and but we are still motivated to see these presentations that will allow us to discuss this co-creation of nature-based solutions in educational environments. So please, the floor is yours. Bring your knowledge and expertise to the group.
Just one question. Thank you for the invitation. So I explore presentation. I'll explore how child-centered design and emerging technologies such as AI can support more than human education together with nature-based solutions. And so through this participatory design experience, I will show some projects as well, and children co-create with natural and also technological agents to reimagine new ecological futures. So going further, I'm Clara Vieira Rodrigues. I'm a designer and researcher at IDEMAIS, the Research Institute for Design, Media and Culture of the University of Porto, and I'm specialized in child-centered design, co-creation and educational innovation. I have a design studio for many years, and since 2022 I started developing a social impact project called Design Dean. So I'm also committed to promoting ethical and inclusive design. I'm a member and founder of the Designing for Children's Rights Association here in Porto. And here it's an image of me in an opportunity to speak on a roundtable at the Portuguese Catholic University about being human in the age of AI, challenges of coexisting. So going further, this is the Designing for Children's Rights international group. I'm part of this community, and I'm very pleased to be. We prioritize children's needs and rights in the design and development of products and NBS and solutions. And we bring advocacy and bridge inclusive design to the business world. Here, just to present you, this is part of our work. It's a design guide you can scan if you want, and it's developed by our community to guide the design process. So it's based on the rights of children, on the convention, and shows how to develop more products and services with the children's rights in view. So to talk about more than human education, this is like a pedagogical framework. I have been working since in the development of a project of mine, of a paper I've presented in an education innovation conference in summer. And it broadens like traditional educational paradigms, emphasizing the interconnectivity between humans and non-human agents, such as animals, plants, artificial intelligences, environments, and other ecological entities. And it encourages learners and educators to see themselves, and also to promote children to see themselves as part of a complex multi-system community, fostering empathy, responsibility, socialization, and a sustainable coexistence. So just to contextualize, we have many polarized views on contemporary education, child-centered education, knowledge-centered education, curriculum-centered education. And it would help to have a new perspective to prepare for a new world, and coming from aligning with the concept of world-centered education from Gerd Pista, which places the world itself as the true center of educational practices, and he stresses the importance of education for a relationship with the world. I'm focusing on a more post-humanist world, and where we face multiple crises, like a democratic crisis, ecological crisis, ecosystems crisis, and this calls for new educational approaches where we can, and also together with the need for digital literacy, AI literacy, which I'm working a lot on. So I'm giving classes at the university and also to small children on AI literacy. So these new challenges call for new answers. And this is like an educational model that broadens the traditional focus, not only on the human being, but in the importance between the relations. And there's where also the nature-based solutions come in. So also the dimension of nature and living systems together with the technology. There are these three components, and they intersect, and in the middle of this is this more than human education. So in my work, in my practice in child-centered design, where I'm also a consultant and I'm an educator, this is the methodology of Design Dean. So it's the combination of children's rights, children's needs and interests, and co-creation and co-design, as they are the experts of their own reality. And this more than human pedagogy is aligned with children's rights, adopting so this ecological awareness, relationality, multi-species entanglements, to build this empathy and this exchange. So in one side, we have the co-creation with technologies, so to integrate the technology, AI, digital tools, other interfaces as active and non-human participants, where they foster innovative and ethical relationships. So now going further to some project examples, this is, I run the KI Creative Club. So this is the Artificial Intelligence Creative Club at the German School of Porto. This is a pilot of a project of mine. And it's an innovative educational initiative fostering creativity, AI literacy, and also art literacy. And the idea is to develop competences through a playful art-based engagement with technology. And there, children explore complex environmental and technological interrelationships with digital tools in a living lab. And here, I have been developing some speculative learning objects with children, and this was the bananometer. So starting from an artistic exploration of banana-themed artworks, we analyzed, and children observed the bananas, and they recognized the various stages of ripeness. And then they created photographic records, and we trained an AI model to identify these ripeness levels, so the passage of time, combining technology, ecological awareness, and imagination. And this is also a tangible object for children, the banana. And so it's a combination of child-centered design and technology as children as active creators to create a collaborative tool with living materials. So they learn that technology it's meant to listen to nature and to care for it and to help them create usable tools. This is another example from Michaela Honauer, a fellow from the Delft University, and it's like a modular play kit designed to help children engage with the experience of a tree in the world. So the idea is that children feel like a tree. They have these electronic components, sensors, and interaction cards. And then they interact with the story of a tree across the 4 seasons, creating empathetic connections with nature. This is also an example of more than human speculation on this matter. Then a third example, it's from a student of mine. It's a master project from a student of the Institute of Education of University of Minho, where I give classes. And it was a pilot for a local library, Lúcio Craveiro da Silva in Braga. And it's like co-creation and storytelling with AI. It's called Histórias IAO. So it's like a collaborative workshop where children participate, creating a storytelling activity where they draw and write, and then they discuss the drawing exercises, and then with adult supervision, they train ChatGPT to co-create and refine their story ideas. So children maintain the authorship, and the AI serves as a supportive tool for collaborative writing and imagination. There is so there is like a process of a warm-up and introduction, then they view a trailer, and then each group designs, makes a drawing, then they make votes, the most voted drawings are redistributed, and then the stories are created based on that, and then they feed all this material to ChatGPT and co-create this story. So it's like a human and non-human machine collaboration. So to the conclusion, this more than human education and the nature-based solutions converge to nurture this interconnected learning ecologies, and invite us to move beyond the human-centered views, embracing this relation with the nature and the technological world, so other agents rather than humans, fostering educational practices that are sustainable, ethical, and multi-diverse, and opens paths for children to grow and expand as selves and in a relational context to co-create and live together. Thank you. I don't know if I was on the time. I didn't train the time. I hope I didn't go too much.
Yes, it was okay. Thank you, Clara.
Thank you.
For giving your expertise, your projects. It was very inspiring for us. We would like now to promote a discussion on the presentations. We have some questions that we would like to challenge you just to break the ice, but then feel free to comment directly and to interact with our presenters, and also the presenters please interact also between each other. So we had 2 presentations from Cátia and from Clara, more based on the methodology, on the principles of co-creation, and then we had also 2 presentations from Rodrigo and from Marta, related with the experience in schools in Barcelos and in Torres, Vedras, what is changing and how both municipalities are encouraging the schools to change the way they understand the way children play, and how can we transform our school environments. Okay. So one of the questions, in some ways, some of the presentations highlighted it, but if you want to bring from your voice, what are the lessons learned from this experience that you have been promoting regarding education and nature-based solutions? So if you would like to highlight a little bit in some minutes the lessons learned. Who wants to bring. So in the case of the cities that have been implementing this, what have you been learning with this? And in the case of methodology, so you have been experiencing also these methodologies in several cases. What have you learned about it? What are the challenges? And I also like to highlight what are the mistakes that sometimes we do in this process and we need to avoid, if we can talk about mistakes or challenges. Who wants to start? So
I think
Cátia.
I think I can start. When I did the workshops with children in my two case study, was a little bit obvious that the children's have the perspective that they don't have space in the cities. So not just in the schools, but if we're thinking in the cities, in the public space, they normally they criticize that aspect, or they give some ideas for participate in the public spaces. For example, I have one that I remember that was a girl that the idea was build a stage for everyone can go there and do like participate in the civil way. So that was one of the most interesting for me, that because when I did the theoretical research, a lot of authors already say that, but understand that the children's have that opinion and recognize that lack was very interesting. And about the mistakes, I think I can I can talk about one. When we are co-creating with children, it's common that as a designer, or maybe as a professor, or just an adult that are guide the activity, you as an adult can most of the times guide the children to a specific result or a specific idea that you as an adult want or think that is a good idea or a good solution, but influence the children's. So sometimes you make that mistake without notice. So it's very difficult to be with children and co-create with children and don't put your voice lower than the children's voices. So I think in the schools, I think can be done very easily. So yes, I think it's a mistake that we adults have to relearn how to co-create with children or ask for their voice without influence them.
Thank you, Cátia.
You're welcome.
For bringing the public space issue, I also like to think that our cities are schools, are big schools, so we learn also in the public space, and and could be also interesting to think how can we move from this experience in the schoolyards to the urban environment. Early in the morning, I was listening to the radio, and there was they were talking about the MOBI summit in Lisbon that will take place today. And Juan Tur, an urbanist from Barcelona, was saying that when he designs the city for children. Because if we design the city for children, it will be inclusive for everyone. So I think it aligns with your idea. So maybe if the other wants to comment, Clara or Rodrigo.
Thank you, Gonçalo. I can say just 2 or 3 things about that. First, I want to tell you that we already have 4 schools with that new concept of outdoor school space. Okay, this new concept we are talking with the schools and with the children and with the teachers, and they always say they all say that this kind of new outdoor space school are reducing the disciplinary problems in the schools. You know, when the children play freely, they are happier, and they are happier also in the school, inside the classroom. Okay, so it has been a good evaluation of this kind of new concept. Also, there are something very crucial for the work in these outdoor spaces in our schools, that is the supervision. Okay, you can have the same concept in different schools, and the use of the space is completely different from school to school. So we have to work a lot with the teachers, with the staff that are there in the outdoor spaces, with the children, and that's really important to get some exit with this, to get some success with this work. Okay, we are also having some are doing some working in a public space in Torres Vedras every Friday between 5:30 p.m. and 7:30 p.m. In the central garden of Torres Vedras, a very urban garden. It's not far away from the city. It's really in the center of the city. That is normally a place there the people just come from one side to another and don't stay very much. We are inviting the children to just show on and play with those parts and so on. We are having some play workers there from the municipality, and that's also having we are having a great success with that project, because children, we have sometimes 30-40 children playing in the center of the city, you know, and the families talking with each other, and it's very pleasant. It brings to the city a completely new mood. So that's of course one of our main axes to implement, to promoting play in the city.
Thank you, Rodrigo. It's a very inspiring. We see many parks, many green areas empty because there is no activity there. So we need to promote it, and it's very interesting that you bring also municipal staff to support it. Otherwise, things don't happen by themselves. So that's very interesting. Clara, Marta, do you want also to bring some ideas?
Yes, so about this, so there's so many ideas as a child-centered designer. So one thing is like the idea of a playground in a city, which normally in Portugal, most of playgrounds are not that interesting for children. They are designed for parents, based on avoiding risk, and children need risk. So actually, ideally there shouldn't be playgrounds. All the city should be this concept of a playground, of a safe place for children. And building on what you were saying, so to design child-centered design implies the participation of children, because they are the experts on their own worlds. They know we forgot it, we don't know anymore, so we need children to orient that process, to be co-designers on that. And that's already a starting point for this for this participation. There are many interesting projects like Francesco Tonucci, this utopic city of the children, where there's all a neighborhood concept of supporting the usage of the street by children. And there are many movements already on that. We also have here in Porto some like Serpentina, which are trying to regain the urban space. Yeah, but I lost where I was going to. I don't remember anymore the starting point of what Cátia was saying. What I wanted to say, Cátia, it was about the difficulty. So you were talking about the difficulty of not influencing children. Yeah, that's something which it's the process of co-design with children is a very challenging process. You need to be as easy as possible. So you also need some from psychologists and some it's like it's a contradiction to the designers, because there's the ego of the designer which wants to create, but you need to somehow build on work on this ego and train this, that you don't influence, that you're a facilitator, just guiding on what, trying to guide, but it always can go very sidewards, because children are unexpectable and they are surprising in their and they might even not feel like doing that particular work. So it's a long process, this co-creation process. Yeah.
Thank you, Clara. We also saw in your tools that you also change the usual tools of the designer, in the sense that we need to work with tools that are easy for children and for adults to co-create. Otherwise, if we are very technical, it will be difficult. So that's we also saw that in your tools. You work also with fruit and other elements to activate the participation. Do you want to speak a little bit about it?
Yes. So I use tools which are tangible to children, and which can relate to their daily lives or to some social. For instance, the banana here in Porto, we have now in Serralves an artwork of a banana from Mauricio Catalan. And so I tried to relate as much as possible to contemporary artwork, to their social lives, also with their parents. So to go to the museums and also to interact with art in the family and in the free time. And the banana is something which is natural, so it's much more easy for children to grasp this time passage, so the degradation of the banana. And it was like a pretext to understand how to train an AI model, and to understand how the machine works. So the empowerment of children to train artificial intelligence models and understand how it works, how to handle the mistake, how these machines are created by humans and not like entities from magical entities. So this is something with the purpose of AI literacy, of digital literacy for children. And for sure, I need to make it as easy as possible for them to use it. There are other exercises like which connect actually nature-based solutions, like to view from the perspective, to make a video from the perspective of a little squirrel, for example, and to understand how this is how it can be, how reality can be perceived by another species. So we have many ways of deconstructing technology and helping children to understand and to be empowered on this. So this is now I'm very I always worked with technology and design and with child-centered design. So I combine these two, although my work is more wide on this child-centered design, and actually it started with a project of signage for preschool children, so the urban space, the children as citizens, and normally they are not included in the city. This is something which we all have been here talking, so they should be much more active participants in building the city, in building everything, and building also technology as more ethical systems. Because, sorry,
I have other questions, but I also,
sorry, now I was reminded of what I wanted to say to Cátia. That's exactly the point. Children are very inclusive. So about the city, so if you design for city, you design for children, you design for all. That was the beginning point. That's exactly the point. Children think about all the people, about all the species. They are totally inclusive. As the condition to design for children is design with children, so co-design, they will bring this into the design process. So
yeah, thank you for that remark. I think also with our experience, we see that children are very wise, so they always bring very wise ideas and real needs, and so more than adults, I would say. So it's really interesting. But I have also a question to Marta, and then please the other colleagues from TRANS-lighthouses, please raise your hand to bring also your questions and relate it to your pilots in your countries. Marta, you show us the challenge of co-creating these schoolyards. So it's a process that took, I believe, almost 1 year. All the steps to involve children, involve the schools, then start the selection of NBS, going to the drawings for the schoolyards, then move it to a more to the experts drawing, and now you are starting the construction. So how you see, and then you mentioned a very interesting network that you are creating in order to involve other schools. So how you see this process, your experience during this 1 year or maybe more of work, and also how you saw the experience that Rodrigo told us that not always is possible to make this change quickly, and we also need budget, but we can do small changes that can start to activate this process. So how you see these issues in Barcelos?
Yes, in Barcelos, I think is very similar than that the reality of Rodrigo. We are very similar questions, and I think the most challenge is that we need to understand that we need a lot of time to this paradigm shift, and most of the time we don't have this patience to wait with the process and the natural development of the process. And I think we most of time we have a concept of the space, and we have another concept of how we want to use the space. And these two things often are separate, and we have this difficulty with the concept and with the use of the concept. And in Barcelos, we start with this network of school nature, and we want to expand this concept to the all the schools in Barcelos, and we start slowly, but I think is a process that will need a decade to change this paradigm. We need time. We need a lot of time.
Thank you. Thank you. I close my camera because the internet is breaking here at home. You also mentioned governance, that in fact with this experience we are able to change the policies at the municipality level. We are also able to encourage other municipalities to make this change. Do you want to, I don't know, maybe Rodrigo or Marta or the others, Clara and Cátia, do you want to talk a little bit about this need to move from the school level to a political level? So how is this, how is the challenge that you see also in this change, mind change, where we can act in a more strategic way at the governance level?
Well,
Do you find these challenges, Rodrigo? How you manage in Torres Vedras?
okay, I believe I have some good news for you. Okay, can I share my screen again, just for 2 slides, please?
Yes, yes.
Okay, just to show you
Okay.
some images from our work in the city. This is not that central garden that I've told you before. These are other places in the city that we cut the roads and we give all the space for the children. This is the municipal holiday. That is in 11th of November. Next 11th of November, we are already getting an activity like this one. And this shows really the interest of the people, not only for the children, but the families, of course, to go to the streets and let the children play freely in the streets. But the good news is that we coordinate a working group in the Portuguese Territorial Educational Cities Association that have 57 cities that are interested in working about promoting play, not only in schools, of course, but also in the city. Barcelos is one of them, of course. And this is a really good example that the interest on promoting play is very spread in the country now. 57 cities in the north of Portugal, center of Portugal, in the littoral, in the interior of Portugal. So this is, I believe, some good news for the children, for the families, and for all of us. It's really challenging to promote play in a different way, of course. But I believe that the politics, and we had elections, local elections, just a few days ago, are giving more interest in this area. So it will be easier in the next years, I believe so, because this is very related with the quality of life. And of course, every mayor wants to their city with a more quality of life for the inhabitants of every city. So I believe that that's difficult, but we are getting there, really. I believe so.
Great. So this works at the national level. So this is very ambitious, but I think it's the kind of program that really echoes on the politicians' agenda. And when we put this map and the politicians see that their municipality is not in the map, probably they will try to do something to be included. So this is very strategic. Thank you.
Hope so.
Very much. Okay, let me also give the floor to some of my colleagues that may want to bring some questions related with their pilots or their concerns.
Gonçalo, just
Please, Cátia. Yeah.
sorry, but about this topic, maybe I have a sociological perspective, but I think it's very important too that the people in general, like the communities, understand or be sensitive about the children as a citizen, like Clara said, because if the people, if the parents, if the families, if the professors understand that the right of participation that the children have, they have to do it in the schools, in the cities. So they need spaces to participate. Maybe the communities will work together for that, and we will have more policies about it. So I think that is important to have like a general sensibilization about the children's right to participate. And explore new practices of co-creation. Because normally we just speak, in general, we just speak with children when we want to ask them for something, and we forget that children normally don't have the verbal ability that we have as adults. So it's kind of unjust, like it's not a fair conversation. So we need to understand how we can talk with them in different ways, how we can communicate with them in different ways. So yes, just this. Just I want to say this about this topic because I think can be a huge difference in making policies about children's participation.
Thank you, Cátia. Yeah, I think it's a challenge for participation is how to establish these dialogues, how to promote this interaction. We need experts also on that, and so that everyone is comfortable to participate and we can take the most of each other. Yeah, and to promote inclusive process always, because for instance in schools, I don't know if you are facing this, but we have a lot of people that come from very different communities and from very different regions. I remember when we were in Barcelos, you mentioned that in schools you have more than 50 different origins of these children that are in school. So how to involve them and give them the right to participate and create equal conditions. It's probably a challenge. I don't know, Marta, if you want to speak about it, what you saw during this TRANS-lighthouses process, how children participate.
Yes, it's a challenge, and as Cátia says, most of the time the draw is very helpful research to participate the children that don't speak in Portuguese, and the ideas of the students in the three schools are totally draw, and they share a concept and a reflection about the concept of the playground, and this kind of difficulties is a very, very big challenge. But we are yet to try to find a way to respond to this challenge.
Okay.
You understand what I'm saying?
Yes.
Yes, Gonçalo. Okay,
You,
it's clear.
you use,
Okay.
You use drawing as a way of involving children, so they can
Yes.
communicate by drawing.
Yes.
That's very. I had a question related to this. How did they react when they finally saw the experts, the architects, final drawing? Because there is things need to be adapted, things need to be scaled and revised. So they react well to the final drawing made by the architects.
Yes, and they argue with the techniques of the municipality, and they made their choice, and they say what they want and what they don't want, and we have some kind of options that the architect want in the same way, in the way. And the children came and say, no, we don't this way. You need to change that. And it's very interesting because the architect need to lead with this kind of priorities that is very different between adults and young children. It's very different, the perception of the what they need. We really need to listen them.
Great.
Right.
So we have 3 minutes. Can I ask you, as we don't have questions from our colleagues, can I ask you one final statement from each one of you for a recommendation for our project related with co-creation of nature-based solutions in educational environments, or considering the city as an educational environment? One recommendation so that we record for the future. We can start with you, Clara.
Can I
And if
just
you want to
make
add something also, please.
Okay, I wanted to add something. So about this children participation and reimagining participatory design. The thing is always children don't give votes, so they don't elect candidates, and we need to go away from this tokenism of child-centered because it's not really being applied as it is. And I was reminded of a conference of all the a Danish academic, and he talks about reimagining participatory design in the context of computer empowerment for children. But what he proposes, it's very interesting because it's an infrastructuring of design participation, of children participation of this process. From the level of authority, so to have children's voice in the different levels of authority, from the base students, then teachers, school managers, school councils, local governments, then the parliament and international laws. So we need all of this infrastructure if we want to bring children's voices and to do really something different. And go away from the tokenism, and I think that could help establishing that can also answer as an advice for these projects, Gonçalo.
Thank you, Clara. It's very important. Maybe Rodrigo, do you want to bring a statement for us?
Yes, just a final idea. That I don't know a better way to include migrant children that cannot speak Portuguese. I don't know a better way than playing, that promote playing. Playing is as an universal language that children can understand perfectly. So if we are promoting play, we are promoting the inclusion of migrant children, of course.
Thank you. Cátia, key idea for us.
Yes, I have a feeling that is for co-creating with children. I think they need to feel comfortable with us. So much more they feel comfortable with the people that are co-creating with, maybe better the results in the way that they have more space to participate. They are more comfortable to share their ideas and argue with us. That is actually necessary, because if they feel the authority that adults normally have, they will not be comfortable to share what they really
need or they really think, and will be not an effective participation. So
Thank you.
yes, that's it. Yeah, actually, thank you.
Okay, comfort, playing, and an infrastructure. Marta, do you want to conclude with an
Yes,
idea?
maybe I propose a project that reverse the roles, and children could lead the process involving adults in the co-creation of natural space in the city. Maybe something like that.
Very good. Very good. Great. You are a
And
provocative, Marta.
Gonçalo,
Yes?
if in the end, if you have time, I would like to share our video with the dog in the schools
Okay.
to inspire the team.
Okay. Thank you very much. So let's conclude this session with you. Yes. Do you want to share it?
Now it's the end.
Yeah.
Now, okay,
The
okay,
end. The end. I
yeah,
was going to
okay.
say bye-bye, but it's 1 hour or it's 1 minute?
No, it's 2 minutes. 2 minutes. Okay.
Okay.
Okay. Sorry.
Okay, we say bye-bye and we stay with Marta video. Okay, thank you very much to all of you. It was great to have your contributions. I think they were very inspiring for us. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, all of you.
Thank you very
Thank
much.
you very much.
Thank you to all, and especially today to Clara, to Cátia, and to Rodrigo for having joined us and sharing with us your experiences. Thank you so much. And let's see the dog role in all of this.
Okay.
Thank you.
Okay. Bye. Thank
Big
you.
hug to everyone.
Bye.
It's our Kelly.
Thank you. Great.
Obrigado pela partilha.
Obrigado.
Obrigada.
Thank you. Thank you all. Thank you, Marta, Andreia, Rodrigo, Clara, Cátia. See you soon. Bye-bye.
Thank you.
soon.
Bye
Thank you.
bye.
Bye. Bye. Thank you.
Bye.
Thank you, everyone.
Obrigado.
Bye bye.